Third, he did it. I did not know how. It is true. Answer: it is true that I do not know how he did it. Page number 432. B. By using an adjective clause. First, this is the girl. She stood first in the examination. Answer: this is the girl who stood first in the examination. Second, I have lost the book. You gave it to me. Answer: I have lost the book you gave me. Third, there were a few boys there. One of them threw stones at the dog. It had entered the garden. Answer: one of the boys who were there threw stones at the dog that had entered the garden. C. By using an adverbial clause. First, you are pardoned. You have confessed your crime. Answer: as you confessed your crime, you are pardoned. Second, I may grant you your prayer. You shall have to ask for it. Answer: I may grant you your prayer if you ask for it. Third, he is rich. I was in difficulty. He did not help me. Answer: though he is rich, he did not help me when I was in difficulty. Exercise 85. First, combine each set of simple sentences into a complex sentence by using a noun clause. First, he is a rich man. It is known to all. Second, the result of the exhibition has been published. There is a rumor to this effect. Third, he opposed me. I do not know why. Fourth, he has gone away to a certain place. You know it. I have heard of this. Fifth, he helped me in my trouble. I can never forget it. You know this. Sixth, you have insulted him. This is his complaint. Seventh, someone did the work. I know the man. You may be sure of it. Second, combine each set of simple sentences into a complex sentence by using an adjective clause. First, a boy said this. I know him. Second, this is the school. I was taught here. Third, he taught me a lesson. I cannot forget it so soon. Fourth, he is a kind man. I have rented his house. He is a pleasure. Fifth, I saw a man sitting on a bench. By his side was a large basket. A dog was guarding the basket. Sixth, the boy came to my house. You had sent him. I was absent at that time. Third, combine each set of simple sentences into a complex sentence by using an adverb clause. First, he will not be able to pay off his debts. He is poor. Second, I cannot compete with you. You are stronger. Third, it is simple. Even a child can understand it. Fourth, I am his neighbor. He did not help me. Fifth, he may come. Please request him to wait for me. Sixth, I left the meeting. There was awful noise there. Seventh, you may be rich. I am not afraid of you. Eighth, he stared at me long. He seemed never to have seen me before. Ninth, he learnt the truth. He was then angry with himself. Page number 433. 566. In the practical field, We have to combine the different processes shown above to convert a few sentences to a single complex sentence as below. First, a wrestler had come from Bombay. Another had come from Madras. There was a contest. It was held the other day. The former defeated the latter. Answer. In the contest that was held the other day, the wrestler who had come from Bombay defeated the wrestler who had come from Madras. Second, my brother is ill. You saw him the other day, so I cannot attend the meeting. You have called it. Answer. As my brother whom you saw the other day is ill, I cannot attend the meeting you have called. Third, the man is very brave. You saw him. He once faced a tiger. He had only a stick in his hand. Answer. The man you saw is so brave that he once faced a tiger with only a stick in his hand. Fourth, it was noon. The boys were flying kites. We started for Berubari. We intended to attend a meeting there. Shri N.C. Chatterjee was to preside over the meeting. Answer. When the boys were flying kites at noon, we started for Berubari to attend a meeting to be presided over by Shri N.C. Chatterjee. Fifth, she had been followed by a prince. The prince was disguised as a beggar. This had happened during her journey through a forest. She told me all about this. Answer. She told me that during her journey through a forest, she had been followed by a prince disguised as a beggar. Sixth, you had given him a loan. You demanded payment for it, but he had no money then. So he came to me for help. He had no other means of saving his honor. I was informed of this. Answer. As he had no money when you demanded payment of the loan you had given him, he came to me for help, informing me that he had no other means of saving his honor. Seventh, a farmer went out for some work. On his return, he found the cradle turned upside down. He had left his only child in the cradle. The clothes were all torn and bloody. Answer. A farmer who had gone out for some work found on his return that the cradle in which he had left his only child was turned upside down, with the clothes all torn and bloody. 8th, the boy had accomplishments. The father fully described a large number of these to the teacher. He wished to get him admitted to the school. Answer. The father, wishing to get his son admitted to the school, fully described to the teacher a large number of accomplishments he had. Or, the father fully described to the teacher a large number of accomplishments his boy had because he wished to get him admitted to the school. 9th, I was very sickly. I also suffered from malarial fever very often. So my parents were always anxious about me. I was then mere a boy. Answer. When I was a mere boy, I was so sickly and suffered from malarial fever so often that my parents were always anxious about me. Page number 434. 10th. We supposed 10th. We opposed his proposal. He has been greatly shocked at this, so he is thinking of resigning from the club. He founded it himself. Answer. He had been so shocked at our oppositions to his proposal that he is thinking of resigning from the club which he founded himself. 11th. I was wanted in the club. There was an important discussion there. My sister informed me of this. You had already left my house. This was on Sunday last. Answer. On Sunday last, after you had already left my house, my sister informed me that I was wanted in the club for an important discussion there. 12. I require a car. My friend is ready to help me with it. A man tells me this. He has just come. Answer. The man who has just come tells me that my friend is ready to help me with the car I require. 13th. Ram's cousin is in Delhi now. He also returns soon. He will return soon. His father is ill. I am told this. Answer. I am told that Ram's cousin, who is in Delhi now, will return soon because his father is ill. 14th. The earth moves round the sun. The sun does not move round the earth. It seems to move round the earth. Men of science have clearly proved this point. Answer. Men of science have clearly proved that the earth moves round the sun, not the sun round the earth, though it seems to do so. 15th. I visited the garden. In it were some beautiful rose trees. The trees were full of bloom. These were red and white in color. Answer. I visited the garden in which were some beautiful rose trees that were full of bloom, red and white in color. 16th. I heard a loud noise. I came out. I saw a crowd of young boys. They had gathered round a middle-aged man. The man had done something. The crowd were threatening him for this. Answer. As I came out on hearing a loud noise, I saw that a crowd of young boys had gathered round a middle-aged man, threatening him for something he had done. 17th. There had been a railway accident near Patna. It had resulted in loss of many lives. I heard this in the train. I was then returning from Benares. I had gone there to see my brother. Answer. While returning from Benares, where I had gone to see my brother, I heard in the train that there had been a railway accident near Patna, resulting in the loss of many lives. 18th. I got a scholarship. I had applied for it. He heard this. He was very glad. He at once came to our house. He offered me his blessings. Answer. When he heard that I had got the scholarship I had applied for, he was so glad that he at once came to our house to offer me his blessings. 19th. He wanted a thing. I had it, but did not give it to him. It would not have done him any good. Instead, it would have done him harm. Answer. Though I had a thing he wanted, I did not give it to him because it would have done him harm instead of doing him any good. Page number 435, 20th. A man may be very poor, but he will win the love and respect of all But he must be honest. He must also always follow the truth. My father says this. Answer. My father says that however poor a man may be, he will win the love and respect of all if he is honest and always follows the truth. Exercise 86. Combine each set of simple sentence into complex sentence. First, we travelled by train. It halted only at important stations. This enabled it to cover the distance in such a short time. Second, I went to his house. I found him talking with a boy. The boy had stood first in his class. Third, I fell down from the horse. I felt confused. Nothing can describe that confusion. Fourth, the news gave me a shock. It was very great. I almost fainted. Opportunities come your way. You must make proper use of them. This is necessary for success in life. I had nothing in my pocket. I could not help the lame man. He appeared to be helpless. This helplessness was real. Seventh, I am ill. I cannot attend the meeting. It will be held today to welcome him. I am sorry for this. Eighth, he is rich. He is powerful. Still I cannot support him. His behavior was wrong. Ninth, you may like it. You may not like it. In either case, I shall send you there. It is my duty to do so. 10th, the dog was faithful. It found its master absent. He had left behind a treasure. This was through mistake. The dog began to keep guard over it. 11th, I may be very poor, yet I shall never do the work. It will bring discredit upon you. You may be sure of it. 12th, I stood first. He heard the news. He at once came to my house. His object was to congratulate me. 13th, he came to my village. It was in the winter last. I was not present to receive him. I had an important piece of business. It had taken me to Bombay. 14th, the old man was lying upon the sick bed in his hut. It was a wretched one. He was once so rich, but he was now deserted by all. I was pained to see this. 15th, a little girl was about to be run over by a horse. The horse was running. A boy saved her. He risked his life in the attempt. 16th, I was going to Benares. This was in the last month. I met a person in the train. He knew you well. His house was close to yours. 17th, I was walking by the riverside. I saw a man jump into the water. His object was to save a girl. She was about to be drowned. 18th, his brother has returned from England. He will join a college as a professor. He was a student there before. I am told this. 19th, he behaved very ill. For this he was disliked by some people. They had come to see him. Everybody wanted to know the reason of his behavior. 20th, it was years ago. I was attacked by a crowd. I stepped across the street. I found a man. He was very much intoxicated. He was in the custody of a policeman. 21st. He is an honest man. He will not try to hide the traces of the wrong. He has committed it. We are sure of this. 22nd. There was a man in our village. He was very strong and fearless. He once drove away 3 dacoits single-handed. I learnt this from father. 23rd. The boat was seen with delight. It has rowed by an old man. A young woman also rowed it. We perceived it. Our delight then changed into amazement. 24th. He had asked you to do a work. You had refused to do it. He was told this. He was very much aggrieved. 25th. Difficulties stand in his way. He will overcome them. There can be no doubt about this. He is a man of strong determination. Page number 436. 567. He is already explained in Article 429. A compound sentence may contain subordinate clauses and a complex sentence may contain coordinate clauses. This has to be borne in mind in synthesis also. Thus, the following are examples of synthesis into compound sentences, though there are subordinate clauses in each. Example: first, I liked the proposal, so I supported it. It was rejected by the majority of members. They were present there. Answer: as I liked the proposal, I supported it, but it was rejected by the majority of the members that were present. Second, you have entrusted a boy with the work. He is clever. He knows how to do it. He will succeed, I am sure. Answer: the boy whom you have entrusted with the work is clever and knows how to do it, so I am sure he will succeed. Third, the lion was let out of its cage from the amusement of the spectators. It did not run at Androcles to devour him. It came up quietly. It fawned upon him. A dog fawns in the same way upon its master. He had been kind to it in the forest. It remembered this. Answer: when the lion was let out of the cage for the amusement of the spectators, it did not run at Androcles to devour him, but, remembering that he had been kind to it in the forest, came up quietly and fawned upon him in the same way as a dog fawns upon its master. Article 568. Similarly, the following examples are complex sentences, though there are coordinate clauses. Example: first, he was poor. He was weak. He stood by his friend. This friend was in danger. He had none else to help him. Answer: though he was poor and weak, he stood by his friend who was in danger and who has none else to help him. Second, you have fixed up the game for tomorrow. I cannot take part in it. I am ill. The doctor has advised me complete rest. Answer: as I am ill and the doctor has advised me complete rest, I cannot take part in the game you had fixed up for tomorrow. 569. Sometimes students are asked to combine several sentences into a single sentence. A single sentence means only one sentence. It would therefore suffice if the combination is then effected by forming a simple, complex, or compound sentence. Some more worked out examples. First, my brother completed his studies. He was 22 years old at that time. He then began practice. He joined the High Court. Join these sentences into a simple and a complex sentence. Answer: simple sentence. After completing his studies at the age of 22 years, my brother began to practice in the High Court. Complex sentence. After completing his studies, when he was 22 years old, my brother began to practice in the High Court. Page number 437. Join this sentence into a complex sentence. Bengal is a rice-growing country. Sometimes the rain fails. Then there is no rice for people. Answer: though Bengal is a rice-growing country, sometimes there is no rice for people when the rain fails. Third, join these sentences into a simple and a complex sentence. There were two frogs. They lived in a pond. They were very happy there. The pond was full of weeds. Answer: simple sentence. Two frogs lived very happily in a pond full of weeds. Complex sentence. Two frogs lived very happily in a pond that was full of weeds. Join these sentences into a simple and a complex sentence. He was hiding in my garden. He was armed with a gun. He was a Pathan. My notice was drawn towards it. Simple sentence. My notice was drawn towards a Pathan hiding in my garden with a gun in his arm. Complex sentence. My notice was drawn towards a Pathan who was hiding in my garden with a gun in his arm. Fifth, join these sentences into a complex sentence. Some pickets would be kept in the sensitive areas of the city. They would be kept throughout the night. A senior officer said this. Answer: a senior officer said that some pickets would be kept in the sensitive areas of the city throughout the night. Sixth, join these sentences into a complex sentence. The young man committed a mistake. The mistake ruined his prospects in life. He reluctantly admitted that to himself. At that time, he was left alone. Answer: the young man, left alone, reluctantly admitted to himself that the mistake he had committed had ruined his prospects in life. Seventh, join these sentences into a simple, complex, and a compound sentence. It was a moonlit night. A sweet music was coming out of Portia's house at Belmont. Portia arrived. She listened to the music. Answer: simple sentence. After arriving at her house at Belmont on the moonlit night, Portia listened to the sweet music coming out of the house. Complex sentence. When Portia arrived at her house at Belmont on a moonlit night, she listened to the sweet music coming out of the house. Compound sentence. Portia arrived at her house at Belmont on a moonlit night and she listened to the sweet music that was coming out of the house. Eighth, join these sentences into a complex sentence. The stick was lost. The stick was radioactive. The stick could cause severe burns from a distance of 20 feet. The loss occurred on Tuesday. Answer: The radioactive stick, which was lost on Tuesday, could cause severe burns from a distance of 20 feet.